Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to game number one. What is happening with my, yeah. I'm allowed to be bigger. I'm all floating in the ether. There we go, a little bit better, a little bit better. So, welcome to game number one. We are here on the best map in Heroes of the Storm, Braxis Holdout. You know, I love Braxis. If you don't love Braxis, you're doing it wrong. Yes, that's what I said, and I do not regret my words. We're here. We've got Cats on my keyboard on one side, Pepegas on ice on the other. They are here in the semifinals in order to determine who advances to the grand finals of Div C. Do we actually know who they'll be playing yet? Let me find out. Probably should have looked at this before, but you know what? I'm not professional. If you expect me professional, you are disappointed, my friend. No, it does look like Sunday is going to be the match between the other half of the semifinals. It will be Bad Rats against Heavy Group Therapy. So it'll definitely be one of those two teams. Now, as we get into this, I do want to talk about a few things. So, this is the battle of the underdogs. In the round of 8, Pepegas on ice did overcome the number 4th place team, Witch Rhythm. So, they were a slight underdog. They were the 5th place team, but they did overcome and advanced. But even more surprising, even more eye-opening, in the round of 8, Cats on my keyboard, which was the 8th place seed, did overcome Zul'jin Distillery in order to move on. So the 8th place team knocked out the 1st place team. Let's go ahead and see if they can keep that run going and just have the 8th place team make a run, or Pepegas be like, okay, you guys got lucky, but we're still the better team. Let's do this. Inquiring Rakas want to know. So we do go ahead and have Thrall and Tassadar being banned out by the side of Cats on my keyboard. Braxis was not banned. Who's gonna ban Braxis? Everyone loves Braxis. Best map in the game. Actually, speaking of bans, I may have the team drawn on this. I will warn you. Things got a little bit confusing because there was some discussion and I got confused about which one was which. But in terms of map bans, we did go ahead and have Cursed Hollow and Dragonshire being banned out, as well as Infernal Shrines and Towers of Doom. So that is something to look for. Don't pay too much attention to the colors. I may have that wrong. I may have it wrong who banned what. We are leading, it looks like, with our healers. So Anovan picked up, as well as Brightwing. Chromie gonna go ahead and be the second pickup by Sophronia. Look at me saying the name correctly. I cannot promise I'll do that the whole time. I learned the name wrong and it is so hard to get it out of my head. Getting out of my head, getting out of my mind. So there is the Johanna coming out. A bit surprising, like Johanna is not as fiercely contested, but to go through the entire ban thing and then the first 3 picks before the JoJo gets picked up, a little surprising. Ghost coming out here and being a Ghost Pepper because I'm going to be playing Spicy Zul'jin. So we don't yet have an offlaner for either side, but other than that, it does look like Cats on my keyboard still needs a DPS player. There's the Dehek and Dahaka. I don't blame this. Actually, neither team has taken a global. I do kind of expect, obviously not Dahaka now, but a Falstad makes a lot of sense. You can even make it work with a Illidan or a Genji. They aren't strictly globals, but obviously the hunt can go across the map. And then of course Genji can both solo the boss and can like do the double dash in order to just get through the middle section real fast. And no, that is not a new, I mean, it came out in the Worlds Collide update, but I want to say that skin is about 2 years old, 3 years old. Martin, and there's that Falstad I was talking about. So this is going to be Brightwing and Falstad both able to go up to the top lane and be really, really mean to whoever's up there. Who's up there is going to be Rexar. Rexar, probably the best offlaner on this map, in my humble opinion. And my humble opinion is always correct. But yeah, they came out with a bunch of Overwatch skins in Heroes of the Storm. Johanna got Reinhardt. Vala got the Reaper. There are some other ones as well, but I don't play Overwatch enough, so I don't really know them. We also have IT Cowboy with the Fire Mage. So Fire Mage versus Sand Mage. We're going to be making glass here, ladies and gentlemen. And Tikor comes out with Deathwing. Now, Deathwing isn't really a global, but Deathwing is, like, more global than some. But here we go. We're going into the game. We're going to be going in there in just a second. Unfortunately, I can't do predictions on this channel, so I hope you'll forgive me. But I will see you momentarily. Don't go anywhere. After these messages, we'll be right back. Obviously, let me know how the sound is. If you can hear everything well, that will be helpful. So we are coming in, representing Cats on my keyboard here on the blue side of the battlefield as we zone into Braxis Holdout. We do have Apple playing the boy prince, Anduin. We have Ghost on the bad man, Zul'jin. IT Cowboy coming out here on the Fire Mage. Actually, the Fire Mech, based on the skin that they have chosen. We do go now PJ Red coming out here on Johanna in the Reinhardt skin. And then up top, we do have the Lime Bus coming out here and playing Rexar. And also the Lime Bus playing Best Girl Misha. Meanwhile, representing Pepegas on Ice, we have Raptor playing the Lightning Chicken. Falstad. We do have Tomjin coming out here on the other dwarf. This is a full dwarf team. Every dwarf in Heroes of the Storm is being represented by Pepegas on Ice. We do go ahead and get Murden by Tomjin. Sylphrinia is going to be playing the Sand Mage, Chromie. And then we are going to have Peas playing the Brightwing. And they actually do go ahead and send Deathwing up top. That is not surprising. Deathwing's melee build does actually do extremely well into Rexar, considered one of his direct counters. I do have to wonder. I might. Okay, yeah. I don't know Deathwing well enough to know if that is the melee build, because the thing about it is that the reason it's so good is because Deathwing gets like a leaping attack where you can go forward, and it makes it really, really, really difficult for Rexar to ever be able to move in, because the leap is just about the length of Rexar's ranged attack. Tomjin taking a bunch of damage, goes ahead and jumps out of there, does explode on the rest of his team. Oh my. Both teams look like they are moving. And yeah, we can see Tikor basically not having taken any damage. Misha half dead, Linebus having to go back to heal. This is unfortunate. I said that Rexar was about the best offlane on this map, but there are about 2 heroes that, if played by competent players, completely shut the bear man down. They are Deathwing and also Kira. So we do have, moving down, a Raptor coming in here. There is a little bit of a fight at the bottom point. They don't move up to take the top ones. Limebu's trying to move Tikor off of this, having a bit of a hard time. Is he able to avoid that? But yeah, Tikor down to 8th of their hit points. This is really what you kind of have to do, is spread out as Rexar. You're like, you gotta pick. You gonna let me push your lane, or you gonna let me have the point? You can't do both. So we do have Sylphrinia. Sylphrinia catches that bomb, moves up, doesn't quite hit Tomjin with it. There is the teleport onto Tomjin, and the Pepegas are moving back. It does look like Cats on my keyboard control the bottom point very thoroughly, but Tikor is not letting Rexar get any forward momentum into this top point. I do love the bandage noise that comes whenever they mend. Oh, Tomjin does move back. Tomjin did go for Dwarf Block at level 1. Not a bad talent, but it does mean that Tomjin is less able to step back for a second, come back in, like he would if he had taken 3rd win. Red takes a bit of damage. It does look like the Pepegas are trying to move forward, trying to come into this, do a bit of damage. There's the sand coming across, goes ahead and lands on Ghost, but Misha goes down the top lane. Tomjin goes ahead and moves back. Not going to get hit by this just yet, but Peas in a little bit of trouble, and Peas will be a Peas in a pot because they just all went Okay, it's only one hero. That was an analogy that did not work. I apologize. But Peas will be first blood as Zul'jin puts a notch on their belt. Now, it does look like the Team Blonde, Johanna and Anduin went back, and this does allow Pepegas on Ice to take control of the point. Deathwing is not going anywhere, my friends. The answer, my friends, is dragons are a jerk. Okay, Deathwing does actually move back at this point. We may have some counter pressure because it does look like bottom's been taken back by the side of Cats on My Keyboard. Linebus takes a good bit of damage up here as Tikor moves in, trying to go ahead and get the Bearman. They will get this back. Roughly even pressure of 50% to 42%. Here comes Raptor into the top lane. Now look at him go, and look at him go. They could be all Raptor. Goes moving back as they get focused a little bit. Definitely does not have Tazdingo just yet, being that they are level 7. But there goes the front wall and both towers. Tomjin moving on to this point, trying to move back in here, but Deathwing is in the air at the moment. Now here's the thing, Deathwing can't land on this unless he has vision. Never mind, I guess. I guess you always have vision of this on the map. I didn't realize that. Can you tell I don't play the dragon? Definitely moving in here. Here comes Tomjin. Here comes Tomjin. Here comes Tomjin. Right down Tomjin way. IT Cowboy going ahead, and there is a flame strike. No, that was not a flame strike. That was actually Zul'jin to finish off. And the flame strike helped. It definitely feels like Cats on My Keyboard have a dominant position in the bottom of the map, but it is being balanced out by the fact that poor Linebus just cannot move this stupid dragon. We'll get a little bit easier at 13 whenever Linebus turns into Zul'jin. However, this makes it a lot harder as Raptor goes ahead and flies in there. That's Chrono Trigger music. I hope you liked it. Tomjin goes ahead and catches a flame strike. One thing that is weird, I will tell you that Kael'thas is obsessed with the term Flame Strike. A little thing in Elvish, Shalanore, means Flame Strike. So he yells Flame Strike in Elvish as he casts Flame Strike, and I'm pretty sure the name of his sword is also Flame Strike. Right, here we go, going ahead and loading into this. We have a battle going on, a bottle. Oh, IT Cowboy catches a full thing of sand, every single thread hitting them. Does get healed up by Apple. Apple taking care of their teammates. Cats on My Keyboard playing very well. Keep in mind, again, they were the 8th place team, so they definitely figured out something at the end of the season. And there are the ults coming in. We do have Avatar being used by Tomjin. We do go and have the sand coming down. But there's the big gust. Get back under our thing. Oh, Tomjin, you do not have a lot of health. Does not matter. Brightwing comes in. And there's the polymorph coming down. Anduin goes down. The lad is getting ladded upon. Ghost in the middle of a lot of danger. Tomjin moving back, trying to go ahead and stay into this fight. We do go and have Falstad trying to convert this and get more pressure. They will do so. Here's PJ Red moving on in. Tomjin is healing thanks to Murden Strait. And here we have, right after I was complimenting cats on my keyboard, we do go ahead and have a Zerg wave being secured. Yep, by the side of Pepegas on ice. We are moving out. Here's the full Zerg coming out of their holding pen. There is a slightly smaller Zerg wave, only 51% coming out of the bottom of the map. And as you move line bus down here in order to try and support the push and let the 4-man really trying to hold off all of this aggression up top, because there's a lot of it, a lot of aggression coming in here. Right about now. Sylphria has no health. Bye-bye! Not bye-bye! Okay, I've got to know. Sylphria can tap in 10 seconds. Oh, Peas. Nice lines to blink heal. Saves Peas. Alright, there is a kill onto the lightning chicken. Tico goes ahead and uses their ult in order to get out of danger. They were not getting past that entire team, and I do not blame them for that decision. Your ult is good, but dying is, or not dying is better. So we do go and have Team Bird up here at the top. I would call Deathwing the big bird, but Deathwing is not yellow. Line Bus has to be a little bit careful. Like, Line Bus, unfortunately, because of the matchup, will struggle into T-Core. And the fact that Line Bus knows that Raptor is nearby, however, there comes the fly-in. Does not go for it, though.
Has destroyed the fort.
That is going to be a catapult advantage coming out of the side of Cats on my keyboard. Alright, we do going to have a light bomb, does not land on anyone. T-Core comes down with the heavens accompanying him. They are moving there. There's the big gust. Everyone's stuck in the same place. T-Core breathing not at the point. I feel like I would have done the other thing, but there goes Johanna going down. We do have a kill onto Misha. No. Wow, that actually felt like it was a personal, where I'm like, Misha, no. And then immediately it's like, hell yeah. Hellbats do not like bears officially, and this is going to be massive, massive, massive. As I put Pepegas on ice, they are moving in there. Lion Bus and Apple being the sole survivors. The sole survivors. Are they looking at boss? I think they are. Yes, Thompson moves up here and goes ahead and gets the Archangel fighting on their side. In case you guys did not know, that is its name. It's the Archangel. You can find it on Hammer's co-op stage in StarCraft 2. I'm a bit surprised they're not pursuing this. I guess they want the beacon progress, and they're trying to go ahead and knock down top. They will definitely get it. Poor Line Bus cannot hold that back. Meanwhile, bottom. So we do have a split bit of attention. Bottom is taken back, but we are at 66%. Sorry, I got distracted by chat. That, but we are at 65% beacon, 66% beacon progress for the side of Pepegas on ice. No progress yet for Cats on my keyboard, but here comes the engage. Lots of damage going through. We do have IC Cowboy in the back. There is a dragon on top of the mage. Definitely not going to be able to gravity lapse the dragon. There's a big fear coming out. But the rest of the team is not on hand. But here comes the gust.
Slain.
Maybe the gust isn't coming. And there's 100% Zerg wave for the side of Pepegas on ice. Here they come, coming out of the bottom of the map. Very, very small Zerg wave answering for the top. I'm not sure that Pepegas will even bother to defend top. Though it does look like they are sending Chromie up there. So Fernie gonna go ahead and push that back while the other 4 come down here in order to push it in. And there goes the second keep. I did kind of question that because I'm like, you know, Chromie is not the best at wave clear. I don't know if you know that, but I definitely knew that. However, down here is the action of pushing in. You do go and have a lot of the Zerg down, but the 3 Guardians are still in the air. I do go ahead and have that going down. Thankfully, Peas goes ahead and uses a spell shield, drastically lowering the efficacy of that Pyroblast. I'm a bit surprised we don't get to see Pyroblast very often, but we got to see it now. Now look at him go! Now look at him go! They could go back to base! Oh, they looked like they were turning around. I tried to make a joke and I couldn't. So with that being taken care of, we do go ahead and have the teams moving up here to their opponent's hellback. I'm going to get these taken care of.
Hell yeah!
It's going to be a bit of a fight. Murden going ahead and catching some fire. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me a couple of desire. We do go ahead and have Pepegas on ice, taking their 2 assigned camps, I guess. Kind of eyeballing boss, that would be gutsy. They are on even talent tiers, so fighting over boss would be... This is one of those things, they don't want to fight over the boss, they're threatening to fight over boss. They're saying, you want to come in here and fight? Because that's the thing. No, they're actually starting boss. Ooh, I'm not sure about this. PJ Red does see, and their opponents know this is happening. As so here comes the battle. They're only 1 level behind. But the boss is just about down. Can they get onto the point? The answer is no. They did not notice how low the boss's health bars were, and the boss is taken by the side of Pepegas on ice. Very, very, very low health on the side of Cats on my keyboard, but Tomjin also looking not too good for wear. I deleted that too, where you just get a little bit tunnel visioned. Oh, this looks Danger Mouse. There's the feigned death from Rexar. Rexar's like, you can't kill me, I'm already dead. Oh, wait. Here's a push on the bottom. The boss has been defended into the top lane, but not defended entirely. Bottom keep does go down. In the words of Alarak, your keep has been taken. Of the irony. I love that voice line so much, it makes me super happy. Here's another massive wave, this time coming out of the top. The only lane that is still defended. We are at level 18, about a level and a half behind. There's a lot of cats on my keyboard.
Exterminate them immediately!
Alright, we do have the boars coming out, but there is a kill on the Killfoss. I'm not even sure where Killfoss was, but I know where he is now. He's in the Hall of Storms. T-Gorge is going in, going the distance. He's going for speed. Stun comes out. PTA Red in a lot of trouble. Unstoppable does come out in order to give some of that extra shielding. But here comes the Guardians. The Guardians of the Hydralisks are the big problem. They shred buildings. They do so much damage. Oh, and Wind Tunnel not letting them engage onto the Zerg. That's going to be it. That's going to be game number one. Going to the side of Pepegas on ice as they go ahead, ride the back of the Zerg wave into victory as the Terran buildings just cannot stand up to the fury of the swarm. I'm a little bit of a StarCraft fangirl. I'm sorry. Looking at things at the end of game number one, we do have in terms of damage, Deathwing leads the way. Someone in chat did say, who let T-Core have Deathwing? And this is what they were talking about. 85,000 damage over the course of the game. We have Sophronia coming in second with 62,000 and Zul'jin with 57. Healing-wise, we do go and have Brightwing healing 74,000 damage over the course of the game. Anduin getting 66,000. And here's a hats off to Peas, honestly, because, like, 74,000 and Brightwing wasn't able to heal Deathwing, so that's healing on only 3 people instead of 4. Okay, actually, you know what? Never mind. Deathwing is the offlaner, so Deathwing wasn't there anyway, so you know what? Nix that. You didn't hear anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Experience-wise, we do have Deathwing out-soaking the Rexar, 15,000 to 13,000. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get to game number 2 in just a moment. Looks like you'll be Tomb of Spider Queen, but I'm sure people need to get drinks and things like that. So after these messages, we'll be right back. I already sang that once, but I sang it again because you all deserve it. Let me turn the mic on. Hello, everyone. I forgot to update the score because I'm super good at this. So we did have Pepegas on Ice did win game number 1. Let me go ahead and update that right quick. Make it all appropriate. We are on Tomb of the Spider Queen. This is the smallest map in Heroes of the Storm. You can expect to see people very, very, very quickly rotating between the lanes. It's in some ways the hardest map to be an offlaner for, because offlaners like to outdo their opponents, push forward, try and do damage to the enemy wall. They don't want to just sit back and safe soak, but it's so difficult to get too far away from your own towers, because the enemy team can just sort of show up within about 2 seconds. But our first ban is going to be on the side of Pepegas on Ice. That does mean Tomb was selected by Cats on my keyboard, and this will be the fa la 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 la. Tassar banned out as well. Tassar was banned out in game number 1. I can't remember if Vala was or not. The real question will be, will the Deathwing be stolen or banned? Because a lot of people, even in game, they were like, your Deathwing was annoying. We were not a fan of that. So we'll have to see if Deathwing merits a ban. Anduin is banned out, so we're not going to have Team Blonde this time around. It does look like Apple's going to have to pick out a different healer to play this time. And we do have Chromie, so interesting. Anduin banned out, but then Sylphrenia also having the Chromie removed from her hero pool. We are going to go ahead and have Peas once again lock in that Brightwing. Peas was very, very good at the Brightwing in game number 1. Did end up out healing the Anduin, so definitely comfort.
I shall do what I must.
Oh, I see. We've got Cats on my keyboard saying, dragons? You're using dragons? I see your dragons. Here comes a dragon of our own. Mephisto also coming out from Ghost. Mephisto is a healer that does really, really well against clumping teams. So if we end up with a very strong front line, Mephisto will be doing very well against that. Oh well, and Sylphrenia coming out and basically taking away the Kael'thas from PJ Red. So, I asked if T-Core was going to have his Deathwing banned or stolen, and the answer is no. They're just going to take Dahaka and not even... I have to wonder if Cats on my keyboard was planning to, ban out the Deathwing, and then when Dahaka got locked in, they're like, wait! Okay. And we do have the Dibbles being banned out. Why do I keep getting pinged? Stop pinging me.
The crusade calls.
Need a light.
So we do go in and get the Johanna and the Blase. It's going to be Blaze into the Haka. That is, if the two of them were put outside in a field, with minions coming by but no ability to retreat, I do think Dahaka wins that, but effectively, nobody wins that. And we do once again have Team Birdbrain coming out of the side of Pepegas on Ice. Falstad and Brightwing both want to be able to move up and make Linebus's life difficult. So here comes our final pick on the side of Cats on my keyboard. So, I see IT Cowboy is like, okay, I can't have the Fire Mage. Well, here comes the Ice Mage. I wonder if they'll take Fingers of Frost and just really, really dive in to Alex Strauss's cheese. But, with that being said, we will get into the game. Don't go anywhere. We will be here in just a second for game number 2. Cats on my keyboard versus Pepegas on Ice here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. All right, here we go into game number 2. First of all, we'll zoom out just a little bit. Representing Cats on my Keyboard, trying to bring us back into a even game, get us to a game number 5 eventually. We do go ahead and get IT Cowboy coming out on the Lady of Frost herself. I love it whenever she sits side saddle. That's so cute. We do go ahead and have Apple on Alex Thraza, riding the Christmas cookie. We do go to have Line Bus coming out on Blase. We are going to go ahead and get Ghost playing Johanna, and then PJ Red on the Mephisto. It was hard to click on you to see who the heck you're playing, sir, madam. I'm not actually sure. Meanwhile, representing the side of Pepegas on ice, the Principality of Punishment. We are going to go ahead and have Tikor. Tikor goes in there. Oh, we do have Double Dragon. We have Double Dragon going on, as you are able to have Stitch's hook into the Hakatung potentially. We're going to get Raptor onto the bird, which is very appropriate. Keys is once again back onto that Brightwing. Sophronia is going to be playing the Kale Floss, and then Tom Jin is on the hooker himself. Alright, we do go and have Fire Beats Ice. This is the song of Ice and Fire, and apparently, I don't actually know that series well enough to make an intelligent comparison. I will say Hoku Artanis got banned in game number 1, so at least was acknowledged as a threat. Line Bus going as Tikor here in the bottom lane once again. We have some trading back and forth. Tom Jin. Moving down. I feel like there may have also been a Nova Widowmaker skin. Raptor comes up, but Line Bus going to move easily away. Raptor does not have a lot of health. Line Bus trying to go and clear this out. It does look like Tikor is going to take this opportunity to turn in their 11 gems, instead of trying to fight Line Bus and keep their minions alive. Now Tikor's moving back, but the minions did lose about half their health in that. Meanwhile, a little bit of back and forth, and the two sides eyeing one another. PJ Red is going for a little ride. Line Bus does not have a lot of health. So I say, like, you just ran right past him. There's no way he's gonna let you turn in. Unless you only have 2, so I didn't think turn in was the goal. Neither side has turned in just yet, but we are getting ever closer. There we go. We do go and turn in for Pepegas on ice. Very, very close. I like how IT Cowboy ran into the team and was like, wait, I have bomb, and ran back out. Tikor just go ahead and gets the pop away. IT Cowboy tried to get to the healing, but not quite able to. That is the second kill for the Pepegas. Tom Jin going ahead and getting a lot of damage, trying to go ahead and move back out. Stitch is doing Stitch's things. Does get fricasseed by a Lightning Nova. I think that's the correct use of the word fricassee. Both teams now do have turn-in. PJ Red tried to go to the turn-in, but wasn't quite able to. He's trying to see if this turned in, but no, there's a flashlight coming out. Want to go ahead and move Brightwing back.
Red team, you have done well. My magic is
So if you have arachnophobia, this might be a good time for you to look away from the monitor, because in just a second, we're going to have the children of the Spider Queen making their appearance on the map, and here they come.
Slaughter the blue team.
And it looks like the boss lane is the point of primary aggression. 4 defenders, 4 attackers, and here comes the spider down. Spider down! There's the wave of death coming out. We do have the top tower going down. I do not think they're going to get much more than the tower in this. That spider's going down very, very quickly. And it looks like they won't even get the other tower. I actually thought they might be able to. However, here in the middle, T4 did go ahead and break away. Led the spider to victory, and that is going to be a kill on one of the boards. Tamjin super low, down to about 500 health as they go ahead and move away. And then they walk away. And we are maxed out on Circle of Life.
Metal spiders.
Usually Alex is going for the Circle of Life build. But that does mean that any of their opponents, like Jaina, that are able to punish people standing in a small circle will be extra effective. However, this is bad news, Bears. The entire team of Cats on My Keyboard just showing up. They do. I'm not positive who got... Okay, I was like, did they already pick up the Giants? The Giants are picked up by the side. The Pepegas... Cats on My Keyboard moved down there to fight, and then backed off, and then the Giants went to the other side. Break on through to the other side. Meanwhile, we do have a spider wave coming out of the side of Pepegas on ice. The majority of, or out of Cast My Keyboard, majority of Pepegas are moving to top lane in order to take care of the spider. This is boss lane, and they want to protect it. After moving in here. Lion bus. Okay, never mind. I was like a little bit in a bad position, but then the rest of the team is very nearby. They were waiting for someone to rotate through, but their opponents were a little bit too smart for that. Does miss with the hook, catches a bunch of free damage from IT Cowboy. Okay, we do go and have the Ring of Frost come down, roots a couple of people. There is the Captain America shield, but nice gust coming from Raptor. Does not allow the UDs to be fall apart. Tamjin super low. There is the teleport in from Peace. Peace goes ahead and gets that out of there. Sylvania is going to go ahead and get this taken care of. Taken down. PJ Red definitely not going to let that happen. Tamjin moving through. IT Cowboy needs to be a little bit careful. There's the move back. T4 going ahead and trying to be mean to PJ Red. Obviously really making use of the fact that there's so many bushes on this map. There's the root coming down onto Tamjin, but Tamjin going to move away. T4 does get stunned by Lion Bus. There is the throw-in. After goes in, push everyone away. IT Cowboy stuck in the corner, and that's going to be a dead Jaina. Back to Theramore with you, young lady. Big stun from Lion Bus going ahead and push. That's really a problem. It just feels like they're doing a decent job in setting up kill pressure, but the actual kill damage just isn't there yet. Granted, I will say, at least for Line Bust, the power spike on Blaze happens at level 13, so they are getting close to doing crippling damage.
Well done, red team. Power is yours.
Apple does going to get caught and immediately eaten by Tanshin. Once again, there's the Captain America shield to stop that. Apple trying to get out of here, but nothing doing, unfortunately.
Death upon the blue team.
There we have Pepegas on ice with their web weavers and a dead enemy healer. Now, obviously, this is early enough in the game. We'll be back in about 15 seconds. He's going back for mana, but we'll definitely teleport back in before 2-2 travel. I shouldn't say definitely. If there's not a battle going on, then maybe not so definitely. Raptor moving up against Ghost. So moving up here, trying to go and get this knocked down. They get knocked down. Won't get up again. That's not a talent yet. That would be such a terrible talent. Ticker goes ahead and says, you know what? We're gonna make it. We're not gonna let this slow this down. We want our web weaver to push its way through. Web weavers do fall, indeed. Does look like both sides have turned in. We do have Pepegas trying to get another immediate one. Oh, Tickler wasn't here. That might be, I was gonna say. Everyone got turned in. Oh no, Raptor didn't either. Okay. So we do go and have a orange bastion in the middle, but it does look like a lot of the pressure is being applied to the southern lane. We are 12 minutes in. This is a decently powerful web weaver. Now just like Line Bus is in the top lane, trying to make sure that this web weaver makes it through. Middle has already been cleaned up. But Line Bus trying to put a lot of pressure up here at the top of the map. But meanwhile, we do have a bit of a fight. Oh, IT Cowboy definitely got eaten. There's no way you'd be there otherwise. There goes even pressure in the top. Both sides now have occasional catapult pressure. But unfortunately, in the middle and the bottom, we do have a missing fort for the side of Cats on My Keyboard, which does give Pepegas an advantage in push power in those two lanes.
Bring them to me. Do this now.
We have a full turn in, but it looks like a lot of our gems are held by Raptor, who's just now arriving. They're eyeballing boss. I think they were just checking to see if their opponents were on it. Their opponents were not. Up to 54. Man. You guys are gutsy leaving Ticker with 23 gems. I would be so scared if I was Ticker. I would not be doing well in this moment. Here come the spiders. This lane is very pushed, so that spider will not be as effective. We do have another powerful hook, and just hook's a little bit on point. Like a lot of I won't say free kills, but a lot of forced mispositions. There's Line Bus. Line Bus goes ahead and gets into a bunker, will not be picked off. And there goes the Web Viva. Looks like the majority of them are staying here and fighting this. They're like, yo, you thought we were leaving? We're not leaving. Tomjin has a lot of damage, down to about half health. There's the big stun coming through. That did not... Nope, you did take collision course and then Juggernaut plating. Big old damage going through. Oh, Ticker with all of the gems will get out of there. Thank for Raptor. Raptor went ahead and gusted the opponent's back because that would have been a tragedy. Now, with the 40-second downtime, it does look like the Kazamaki said, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take boss and then turn in. I think they can do both of those before their opponent comes back. Someone is going to have to answer bottom lane down here, but that's urgent but not urgent.
The blue team has done as I asked. The spider shall aid.
I'm surprised my live list in the hearth. I think it's about the same.
Red team, defend yourselves or perish.
See, the Spider Lady is so much nicer when you're observing, because in the actual game she's like, defend yourself or perish. I care not which. She doesn't say that this time because she cares when we're all observing together. So it looks like we've gotten roughly equalized. There is still this fort standing, but it's the only one. So then we are moving down into the other lane, the bottom lane. This Web Weaver will not be allowed to take this down. I'm a bit surprised that they didn't actually go for a more aggressive play. They kind of went to the middle and defended nothing. They being Cats on my keyboard. Both teams, well, okay, Cats on my keyboard picking up this mercenary camp. It does look like we're thinking about being aggressive, BE aggressive. But this actually may lead to an area where Cats on my keyboard get to fight under spell armor. Apple goes ahead and gusts people away. Dragon form is used. The hook does miss. Stitches, how did you miss an entire dragon with your hook? And this is going to be pushing through and starting to threaten Pepegas fort or keep it. They're not too careful. But it does look like they recognize the threat and they are moving back. We do have a full turn-in available for Pepegas on ice. He's getting us 4 points closer to that turn-in. Not quite red, although good attempt. Oh, this will not quite do it. They are one. And there's peas.
Well done, red
So here we have another Web Weaver face coming out on the side of the Pepegas on ice. Trying to put their opponents on ice as well. The Flying Bus moving back into a more defensive posture. They're trying to move in here, trying not to give their opponents any easy openings. The good news is that the mid lane, like, they're going to hit not all at the same time. Hamjin has so much hit points, it's a little bit ridiculous. Obviously, because I'm hungry for more, up to 43 stacks. Big gust away, and looks like we're gonna have Pepegas claiming our first keep of the game. I do not think there's any way they can save this. The Wave of Death comes out, and there goes the first keep. No, that's a keep. She's not listening to me, is she? Unstoppable today. That is going to be a nice counter kill. Sophronia in a bit of trouble, trying to go in and get away from it. There's the gravity lapse, but it does not matter as Ghost teleports forward and lightning Nova Sophronia to death. This is a really, really bad position to be in if you're Cats on my keyboard. Your opponent has all three of their keeps and one of their forts still up. Bottom lane is just getting pounded by consistent catapult pressure, but you do have about 30 seconds to make a power play. Now, interesting, it does look like that Pepegas on Ice went north to defend boss, but their opponents are not going for boss. Their opponents are like, no, we're just going to take your stuff. Why would we waste our time getting the boss to take your stuff for you? Alright, this is a little bit of a delayed call. I feel like there was some disagreement that happened because almost everyone's back now. It's still 4 versus 5 in favor of Cats on my keyboard. The line bus isn't able to really move into this. There's these charge, does not catch anyone, but Raptor takes a ton of damage, a ton of ouch. No one gets hit by the Ring of Frost, but Tikor goes ahead and gets a stun onto Jaina, but we have Brightwing going down as well, and this is going to be a triple kill for Cats on my keyboard. In a fantastic position to come back into this game, but of course their core is in danger. Someone's got to go back and deal with that. Looks like the Lion Bus is on the scene. I was gonna say, I was thinking about a backdoor, but once again, they've made the decision, I don't care about boss, I care about knocking your stuff down. Now, in 30 seconds, they should definitely get this keep down. That will not be a problem. PJ Red does catch a couple of cannonballs to the face. Oh yeah, they just don't have a... I didn't realize how far back their lane was pushed. Well, color me incorrect. However, it does look like they've pushed the lane, they've done some damage, and here comes some more spiders. Some speed Rs. I think that may be my favorite voice line in Here's the Storm, where it's so obviously dubbed in, it's ridiculous.
My power grows by your blue team's hand.
Like, obviously in the initial recording, it was your enemy's hand, and they just kind of edited that in. Lots of damage going through. Oh, so much damage going down onto, Now we do go ahead and have nice bunker coming down. Super low health on Sophronia. And there goes Stitches going down, but Jaina also taking a dirt nap. Tikor is being class bomb, but there's a lot of damage. Sophronia comes in and gets that gravity lapse. Keys does not have a lot of health. Here comes Line Bus coming around. 1-for-1 at the moment. Ghost comes in. Ghost taking a lot of free damage. That's a little bit bad. I feel so sorry. Like, they just continuously try to move in and continuously don't quite get the buildings they want down. I think that's the real, like, takeaway from this is that, unfortunately, Cast on my keyboard are having some really, really good fights, but they don't have a lot of, pressure. So whenever they have the advantage, they just have a really hard time capitalizing. Here comes Stitches coming back. Alright, Ghost gets nommed upon. Gonna go ahead and be engorged. There's a big root coming out. You do go and have Tomjin unable to move. PJ Red goes ahead and gets caught inside that flame strike. More stuns on the Tomjin. Stuns for days. And we do go and have Tikor comes in from the back in order to finish off an already low Jaina. But Tikor is being aggressed on by Apple. There's a big wind tunnel coming out of Raptor. Oh my god. Okay, I thought it looked lower than that on the minimap. I'm like, did it take more damage at some point? Oh, this is gutsy. I did not think they'd actually go for this. PTA Red going to scout it in just a second with a flashlight. And does see that that's happening. Tomjin does miss. Oh, but here is a... It's a trap! Five-person Blessed Shield. No ability for follow-up, but that definitely put them on the back foot. And now we are back with Jaina. Both teams have their full 5-man. Line Bus, I think they might need you soon. Once again, that just terrible hook. Alright, there's a stun on Dahaka. Lots of damage on Dahaka. But obviously they are down there Mephisto thanks to that somewhat lucky hook. Like, I don't think that was scouted. I think that was, they're probably here. You know what? As Stitches, sometimes that's all you need. And there the boss goes down. We'll be marching upon the super... wait, never mind. This is the orange team. We'll be marching directly to Core. Core is down to 70% right now. Oh no, an IT Cowboy does catch the hook. Nice stun coming out of Line Bus. Goes ahead and prevents that from moving in. That time the hook misses, thankfully. Oh, actually, Cowboy might be a bit of trouble. Line tries to stun, but we actually do have hungry Stitches coming out. Big old body block, and there's the boss on Core. Here's game number 2. Looks like it's going to be going to the side of Pepegas on ice. Here on Tomb with the Spider Queen, bringing us to a 2-0 lead for the Pepegans. Can I call them that? Can I call them the Pepegans? So, looking at things, we do have number 1 damage was Sylphrenia, coming out with 142,000 damage over the course of this nearly 20-minute game. Mephisto is going to come out being played by Ghost with 113,000, and then just want to point this out. The third place, or the third highest damage Falstad was about about 40% of Sylphrenia's damage. Oh my goodness. The Stitches, yeah, Tomjin, those hooks made that game. I'm pretty sure the game looks way different, except you're just continuously taking someone out of the fight before the fight begins. We do have Apple Straza coming out here and leading and healing. 138,000 compared to the 128,000 from Peas. And that ever-important side soak, we do have Linebus beating out Ticker this time. Blazed with 27,000, about 7,000 above Tigor. So with that, I will see you in game number 3. Everyone, channel your inner spirit. Make sure we end up with a, is my keyboard victory? Because I want to cast more games. So I'll see you then. Don't go anywhere.
Garden of Terror.
Did it again. I don't know what it is about me in between games. I'm just like, don't have to do anything. There we go. Updated the scoreboard. That's amazing. So here we go. It looks like the first pick and first ban going inside of Pepegas on ice, which means once again, as my keyboard went with map pick. I always like to think of Garden of Terror as spiders, but planty. Because it's basically, you go in and you try and get the objective, and the objective causes things to push in all 3 lanes. The big difference is that unlike Tomb of the Spider Queen, on a Garden of Terror, the plants don't take damage except when they auto-attack. So if the lane, you know, if your lane is pushed and you're clearing ahead of the plant terror will just walk forward and his life won't go down at all. Whereas the spiders actually have like timed life. They're only up for so many times, so long. So if they have to walk up the lane, that actually hurts them. Same ban so far. Oh, interesting. I feel like Diablo was the 3rd ban last time. Will you risk the stitches? Inquiring rockets want to know. Oh, interesting. Okay, they get rid of the fall stat. They say stitches isn't the problem. The fact that we can't move is the problem.
Fight time!
And there's Monarch Butterfly Brightwing coming out. Oh yeah, Malby, I just remembered. Raider also has a Soldier 76 skin. In case you're still like looking at stuff. So we do have Line Quest takes Dahaka like super early, finding a way to and take away the global advantage that their opponents seem to have.
From order comes justice.
We have the Jojo Hana and the Tassa Face. And Safrenia really flexing her diversity this time. Able to come in and be a sand mage, and then comes in as a fire mage, and is now coming in as a wall mage. Ragrose getting banned out. Interesting. There is Murden. Johanna was picked up by Tomjin, and they take Murden away from IT Cowboy. So without access to Anduin, it does look like Apple has gone for Stukov. Now here's the thing. Stukov is probably one of the most aggressive healers in the game, but Stukov critically does not have access to a cleanse, which means Brightwing's polys cannot be answered, and they have 2 more stun adjacent things. So we've got Blessed Shield, we've got Polymorph. Castor doesn't really have very many stuns in his kit.
Anytime you're ready.
I think he'll call that. We have Sigurd back on the Deathwing, and then Commander Raynor. So what's going to do to fight against this?
The hunt is on.
Oh, that's interesting. I always know from my friend Anaressa that Lunara hates going into Raynor. Raynor slightly outranges Lunara, and so it just feels like you can't get anything done without freaking Raynor just constantly just... So to willingly pick Lunara into a Raynor, I'm very interested. We might see some of those new Lunara talents. Let's hope for it. But here we go. Now look at us go. Now look at us go. We're going into the game. And here we go. Oh, just about perfect time on that intro. I'm very proud of myself. I had nothing to do with the load time, so I'm so very proud of myself. Representing the Centurions of Calamity. Cats on my keyboard coming out here. IT Cowboy playing Lunar, the Hoppy Deer, best deer. We do go have Ghost coming out on the Hanzo. Using this Ghost skin, I would certainly hope so. We are going to go ahead and have Apple coming out here on Stukov. PJ Red going playing the Varian. And then we do go and get the Lime Bus coming out here in the bottom lane. On the Dehken Dahaka.
5, 4,
Meanwhile, representing our opponents, the
3,
Pepegas on ice,
2,
winner of the first 2 games, trying to go ahead and close out the series.
Let the battle begin.
We do go in and get Raptor coming out here onto the Rainer. Ticker coming out here onto Deathwing. We're going to go ahead and have Peas onto the Brightwing. Sylphania is going to be playing the Tassaface. And then Johanna. I like that Johanna skin. Coming out here and pick me up before you JoJo. Being played by Tom again. There's a rotation coming up to the top. Ghost needs to be a little bit careful. I think Ghost sees the danger. I don't know, for some reason I thought Tomjin was Diablo. I don't know why. I was like, ooh, the Diablo plus wall. And then I was like, that's a Johanna. So we do have Ghost. Ghost survives. Doesn't really... I mean, it was a little bit scary for a second, but didn't really get that close to death. We have IT Cowboy moving back. Moving on back. Yeah, we're moving on back. A lot of posturing up here. This has been a great day for seeing dragons. Raptor comes out here. It does look like Rainer went ahead and went for Exterminator Rainer. So is going to be the very effective camp friend. I'll tell you right now, that is not the term we use in my team for the person that clears all the camps, but I gotta keep it appropriate. Lion Bus does get polyed, and does not get his tongue onto Sylphania. I'm just checking that. It's like, oh, there are 3 of you there. Never mind.
The seed is sprouted. Gather it, would you?
So we do have the first seed coming up. This is very much on Pepega's side. I'm not positive if Cats on my keyboard will want to try and fight over here. They are structuring up for it, and Deathwing is going to have a little bit of a harder time moving away because there's a lot of damage coming through here. So Freya goes ahead and gets this channel. Does get not scared away by PJ Red. Obviously, this is just an advantage for Cats on my keyboard, because as long as they can keep this delayed, Dahaka gets to be in the top lane and is actively getting the soak. There's Tomjin running in. Tomjin running in. All 5 people are here, but Line Bus continues. If you noticed when I first talked about the fact that they were getting soaked, they were roughly even. Now they've gained about a third of a level. But there is the first seed going over to the side of Pepegas on ice. Alright, looking at Lunara, we do have Hippity Hop. So, letting Lunara move around. We got Siphoning Touch. Interesting, the heal for Lunara and then Choking Pollen. Choking Pollen, definitely the mage talent for Lunara. Here's the problem, I wanna point out what Lunara took, but I don't remember what talents were changed. I know the brand new one at 20, but that's about all I know off the top of my head.
That seed is ready for gathering. I suggest you do it now.
My seed is up. They're moving up into the top lane. We're trying to go ahead and see what we can get done. I'm just going to sit here. We do have Deathwing in the sky going ahead and trying to prevent this from happening. Oh, Ghost did not get interrupted. Okay, there. But Deathwing had to end up using 2 of the orbs. That's going to be a problem. And once again, Ghost not interrupted. There's another orb coming down. Does actually prevent that from happening.
Share my power and my pain.
Alright, PJ Red does go and get that channel. We are at 1-1. Thankfully.
Red team has destroyed the fort.
Oh, interesting. I got distracted by DMs. I apologize. We do go ahead and have T4 in the bottom lane. Went ahead and push this camp through. And there goes the first 4 of the game as Pepegas on ice. Do have occasional catapult pressure. We're up to 1-1. Keep in mind that Garden of Terror is the map with the strongest map objective in the game. They did an analysis, and the team that gets the first map objective, not the first seed, mind you, the first map objective, does tend to win the overall match like 80 or 70% of the time. Admittedly, I think that analysis may have happened before the change a few years back in order to give you, like, there was a change where you used to get a whole bunch of experience when you took a fort down, and now it's trickle experience. You still get the same amount, but you don't get it all at once. So I do think that may be less true now.
Gather that seed for me.
IT Cowboy taking a bunch of damage, just not able to move, and Lunara goes ahead and just gets absolutely deleted. I feel so sorry for Hoppy Deer, Destroyed Deer. Tinker may want to be a bit of, like, Tinker's right in the middle of next to 3 of their opponents. There is a channel, and Raptor looks like they will get this. Yep, there's the second channel going inside of Pepegas on ice. It does look like the Pepegas have decided that they want themselves a bruiser camp, and this one looks great. But it would look even better if they got rid of that, like, purple sigildry and changed it to orange. There, look at that. Look how much better that looks. So both teams are level 12, and all 10 people are in the game.
Are you ready for it?
Sophronia takes a bunch of damage. There is trying to go ahead, and yes, the Lunara does go ahead and take down the Wall Mage. This is going to give an advantage for the side of Cats on My Keyboard, because they definitely are going to be fighting over this well before Catsar comes back into the fight.
Gather the seed
Hello, Plasticine.
quickly.
Here we go, moving in here. Line Bus goes ahead, and there is the channel from Ghost. Ticker comes in, goes ahead, and going to stop Ghost. Oh, barely stops Ghost. Ticker's got a lot of staying power, but we'll go ahead and have to retreat away. There's a big stun, and a taunt comes down. We do go ahead and manage to get the unstop off. There is the... Now we do have a Tastar coming back into the battle right now. So Freddie goes ahead, trying to get this through. Apple just about done, and no, Deathwing actually stops it with the meteor from the skies. I don't know why I specified that. There aren't a lot of other places meteors actually come from. Oh, big taunt into the bam damage, and Tomjin goes to join the heroes in Valhalla. Why is Johanna going to Valhalla? I don't know. She's not a Viking. Don't question it. Oh, PJ Red actually gets that through. The meteor did not hit both of them. And so that does lead us to 2 to 2 in terms of our epic turn-ins. Yeah, somebody pick that up. Here we have this moving in again. T4 in a little bit of, I won't say trouble, but definitely a lot of free damage coming through. Somebody hit the thank you. Now here's the thing about Deathwing. T-Core really good at Deathwing. Deathwing is their main character, but Lunara is one of the best characters against Deathwing. Because here's the thing about Lunara. Lunara has a very high burst potential, but that is balanced with the fact that a lot of her damage is poison. And so it gives the enemy healer time to actually do something and save them, but you can't heal Deathwing. So all of her burst actually applies to Deathwing. We do going to have these being picked up.
There's
And
my
here
precious
is,
seed.
right here,
Go
is
and
going to
get
be
it,
where
would
the
you?
big battle is. I'm even zooming out. This is going to be intense. Because whoever gets this turn in gets the dolly. Silence comes down. A lot of damage. There comes the unstoppable. Oh, unfortunately, that did not actually take anyone out. That the dragon. Oh, speaking of dragon, here's a real dragon coming in. Dragon arrow my butt. Here's actual Dargans. Very good. If you notice, they went through here and just stopped, and were waiting for Johanna, because Johanna was on the chase, but actually thought they were moving back, and they were not. Alright, Ghost going ahead and getting this channel, and I do think we're gonna have cats on my keyboard. Team Line Bus, as apparently chat wants to root for them. Getting the first turn in. Remember what I said earlier? The first turn in is incredibly powerful.
Rise, my terrors! Sap the life from your enemies! March forth, my terrors! Uproot your enemies' defenses!
Now the middle terror is already down. That's taken out very quickly. The bottom terror is not long for this world. They aren't really able to stand and fight. Top terror has 2 people against it. Line Bus is doing what they can. It does look like the top fort is, oh, will this? No, I think the top fort actually stays up. Astoundingly, surprisingly, and terrifyingly.
Those are enough seeds! Let my terrors grow!
Okay, the terrors are already dead, lady. I don't know what you're talking about. This is why I have a job right there, because my gosh, the in-game commentator is drunk. I'm a little confused because it's still in like the night phase. I thought once the terrors died, this stopped. Alright, they are moving in. They're trying to go ahead and manage to knock some of these buildings down. And they do go ahead. The bottom fort is now equalized. However, as I say that, the top fort's about to get extremely unequal.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
Whoosh. Here comes Seed. Seed is spawning soon. With line bust down, they may have to give this, which is kind of terrible. Though at least it looks like they're very spread out, so they'll hit at slightly different times.
They don't feel a thing anymore.
I don't know why they're delaying here. Guys, your opponents don't have a Dahaka for 20 seconds. Move in. I guess Raynor wasn't with them. Raynor had to go and clear the bottom camp, so they didn't want to risk it. They decided the biscuit was not worth the risk it. Alright, well, line bus is back up. Obviously, Dahaka does have the burrow, so we'll be able to come straight in here. Ooh! Zoning Dragon Strike. I don't know that I like that. That's a big cooldown to be used. I mean, I guess it's only 50 seconds, but woof. Woof. It's nice being very careful. Did not want to move in just yet. Oh god, I zoomed out. This is a very spread out fight at the moment. Neither side both sides want the other one to move in, but here's the thing, keep in mind that top lane does favor Pepegas on ice, especially with this camp, so they can kind of force a response by the side of Cats on My Keyboard. And here we go, moving through. IT Cowboy went down there potentially to try and catch Raynor off guard as Raynor made their way back, but did miss the window and Raynor is back. I think they may have been sniffed out because a lot of people went down there. They tried to zone out their opponents while they went ahead and got the channel. Did not quite work out. There's the hippity hop. Oh, IT Cowboy lands directly inside the incineration from Deathwing, and that's going to be a triple kill for the side of Pepegas on ice. They will get this. They will get Plantaires. This is maybe the worst thing that could happen if you are wanting a game number 4, because, oh my goodness, everybody's dying. Right as the push is happening, we have 40 seconds as we do have every lane being pushed by Plantaires. That was only the 6th seed, and we are already up to level 20 for both sides because of just how long and grueling these battles have been. Yeah, unfortunately, this terror is very, very, very healthy still. Bottom is also taken care of. So the terrors are moving in, the shields are down, the paint is scratched, and they are looking to end this series 3-0. Ghost goes ahead and gets embroiled by Ticker, and that is unfortunately going to be the Pepegas on ice winning 3-0 here on a God End of Terror. It really looked good for Cats on My Keyboard for a second there. And then one terrible team fight at the most terrible of times. But let me see if I can get an interview from our winning Pepegas. Apparently I was in coin flip the entire time because I'm amazing. Alright, I went ahead and just pinged them. We'll see if I am joined. I'll also delete this comment as soon as anyone comes into the channel. While we are here, though, it does look like number 1 damage was Hanzo. Ghost doing 39,000 damage over the course of the game. We do have 34,000 coming out of Sulfuria as the leader for Pepegas on Ice. In terms of healing, Brightwing Peas does out-heal Apple just barely, 55,000 to 52,000. And in terms of that ever-important side soak, the Line Bus does lead the way, 17,000 against 14,000. I'm not joined just yet. I kind of expected someone to have come in by now. Why did I press that button too much? Let me stall for time just a little bit to see if I can get someone to come in here. Because I want them to be able to brag. I want to be able to talk to them. Like, they did a good job. Oh, here comes Nexus Gaming Series. Coming in right as we are finishing up, unfortunately. Okay, it does look like I am going to be joined by someone, which is good. We enjoy that. There we go. It looks like I am being joined by Tom Jen.
We are also bringing Peas, but he needs a link, so I'm trying to send it to him.
I was gonna say, everyone should be able to join lobby too, I would think.
Yeah, I think for some reason Peas is not in Nexus Gaming Series Discord.
Come on, Peas, get it together. But yes, very much congratulations. Kind of an easy question to start off. How you guys feeling right now?
Pretty good, pretty good. This team took down the number 1 team, so
that was one of
3-0 feels amazing.
I didn't necessarily want to ask this, but I was going to say, yeah. Are you thankful for that right now, or do you think you would have won either way?
It's definitely, we'd played this team more recently, so it was easier for us to prepare for it. It's really hard to say because I know that we earlier in the season we had a lot of difficulties playing to D-Wit. He's a really good tank, so I think it would have been a tougher matchup for us, but I think we could have handled it.
And speaking of which, in terms of tough matchups, one Sunday, the other half of the semifinals will be played between Bad Rats and Heavy Group Therapy. Is there one of those two teams you're kind of hoping will win, or does it not matter? You'll see someone in the finals?
I mean, good luck to both those teams. I think I'll hold on commenting on that one. I can't think of anything that's
not a problem at all.
Political to say about that.
So, looking back at the series, starting off with Braxis Holdout, I'm trying to remember which team was which, but it seemed like, in Braxis, you guys flirted with, the boss a lot. You would go in, you would take it, you would back off, you'd go back in, and at times I was like, they're all up and you're on even talent. When do you decide when to try and go for that boss? Because it scared me.
Yeah, well, the first time we had it, we had 2 of them dead, one with 30 seconds, and we had Falstad potentially with Gust for it, and Deathwing Fear. So we had the extra tools to take that risk. Also, they tried to focus me down as Murden really early on because I was probably going to be on point, but I just kind of pressed Avatar, and then I'd already told T-Core to sit on point as Deathwing, so yeah, it was fine. And P's had my back too with the Z.
Yeah.
Always ever aware.
I will definitely say Deathwing sitting on a point is one of the worst things you can ever see.
It's so fat. I think he's got to be the largest hitbox in the game, right?
I think so. The only exception to that is I'm pretty sure Alex Strauss's dragon form has the identical hitbox, but obviously Deathwing
really?
has it all the time.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure both of their... I'm pretty sure that Alex Strauss's dragon form is about the same size as Deathwing.
Really? Well, you know.
It looks smaller on screen, but I believe you.
I may be wrong. It's very possible.
It is a lot easier to hook Dragon Alexstrasza than little Alexstrasza.
That is very true. And it's much easier to hook Dragon Alexstrasza than Dragon Deathwing.
You can hook the Deathwing, they just don't go anywhere.
I was gonna say, isn't there
It does
actually
5%.
I was gonna say, isn't there a talent that actually does percent damage on a hook, and so you can just be like boop, boop, boop?
And it's cooldown reaction too when you land it, so. And healing if you're melee, but you know, I'm not sure you want to be melee Deathwing all the time.
Yeah, I definitely know. Poor Linebus was, I'm sure, so excited to be able to play a Rexar on Braxis, which is usually like one of the best things you can end up with, and then Deathwing shows up.
Yeah, honestly, I think Rexar and Braxis is a really hard play. Like used to play a lot of Rexar, and like especially if you have to pick it early, like Kira destroys you, Artanis will just stack on you for days. Deathwing beats you. Irel even can boop you off the point whenever she wants to try and cap it. There's a lot of counterplay for Rexar, which makes it a tough early pick. Also, it's one of the most gankable offlaners in the game too.
That is very true. Though, hopefully you're not wandering too far out from your gate, although if your gate isn't there, that makes it harder.
Did they get the gate early? I can't remember.
I can't remember
Yeah,
either.
they did. Zildjian picked at it early while we were fighting. So they got
Zul'jin. Oh yeah, we lost our gate early. I remember that,
Yeah.
but I don't remember top lane gate going.
But moving on to game number 2 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Tomb of the Spider Queen definitely felt very like there were turn-ins happening back and forth. You guys had a relatively early lead, but it constantly felt like you were about to it was about to slip away. The fights went on forever. I felt like.
Yeah.
Is there anything specific you did to try and like outlast the other team? Because it really just felt like two sumo wrestlers just shoving into each other until eventually one of you like backed off.
I mean, we're Stitches, right? We just play for the picks and we try to get macro value off of when we're on picks. So we get a pick and then we just walk out the structures, right? And then try and disrupt rotations, like for more picks. And then like especially because I'm Stitches too, like you don't want to get a gorge pick and then right away fight, because I mean that was a lot of your cooldowns too. So there's a lot of calls to clash, reset, and then put more pressure on. So it was a lot harder for us to push afterwards.
I do definitely have to say I noticed that where it felt like you guys were almost playing a like artillery comp, where it was like if the battle actually breaks out, the few times it did, I felt like Cats had the advantage, but you kept being like, we don't want to fight unless they're down a person, so just stay back until I can find somebody.
And Falstad helps with that a lot.
Yeah, we had a really good disengage with Falstad. And if they caught us with one of the many CCs, I can always cleanse, which allows us to leave quickly.
And then
Yeah, it was funny listening to Peas be like, they didn't pick the silence. They didn't pick the silence.
Fully cleansed.
And then lastly, with this most recent map on Garden of Terror, my goodness, I really thought we were going to game number 4. They got the first turn in. They were pushing really well. You guys defended like crazy. Like I think all of your forts stayed up at least for the actual phase, but then they got picked off shortly after. Like you were doing really, really, really well. But that final fight where you ended up managing to kill 4 of them right as your own terror phase came out, I was like, oh god.
Yeah, that's the dream way to close out on Garden of Terror. Like that map can go on forever. But if you get picks right around objective time, that's when you want to be. That's when you get a lot of value. And I honestly, us defending and having all 6 forts left after defense, that has never happened as long as I've been playing on Pepegas on ice before.
No, that was
Like-
I was frankly flabbergasted at how good your defense was, because I'm like, that's not supposed to happen.
I mean, Mephisto, or no, it wasn't Mephisto. What was their team again? Hanzo doesn't do a lot of damage. Lunara does if she takes the talent. I never actually checked whether she took it.
Yeah, I do have to say they were built around team fight. I would notice that whenever they would manage to like knock you guys back and put you defensive, and then they would like rush at your buildings and get your buildings halfway down and then turn around and leave, and I'd just be like, oof. So
Yeah, they definitely had the stronger team fight, and they had a really scary combo with like taunt into Dragon Strike. Like they knew I've watched Ghost play in the game versus Zul'jin Distillery, and they were really good at getting the timing on Dragon Strike out right before all the CC buttons are pushed. So it's basically a guaranteed kill if they get the taunt off. So it was really scary.
Yeah, they definitely did a very good job with that. But that's all of the questions I had for you. Let me turn it over to you for any shout outs you might want to give.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, thanks for casting, and for all of you at NGS for making sure that this fan group of tournament organizing just keeps on going. Shouts out to the server and everyone who keeps it going and keeps contributing to our random channels for good fun. And yeah, shout out for Creepio for hanging on. Didn't get to play, but he was here in case the tornado warning that T-Core was hearing about happened and we suddenly were down a person. What about you, Peas?
Oh, heck and yuck. I'm
What was
glad. I hope everything works out for him.
Any shoutouts, Peas?
Shout out to you guys for having me. It's really fun playing.
One more game.
Yeah, one more.
One more chance to. Oh, we're going for the title. You know we are.
Yeah.
Tabled one more.
Yes, one more.
But I will let you enjoy the after party. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Very much congratulations. We will try and catch you next week for the Div C finals, with you playing either Bad Rats or Heavy Group Therapy.
You bet. Thanks a lot, Rekka.
Oh, absolutely, my pleasure.
And
I'll see ya.
And with that, I don't think I can raid. And there's definitely no other NGS games going, I don't believe. But let me see. You know what? Helldorm might still be going. Let's see if I'm allowed to raid. We'll find out. Oh, wait. I'm logged in on the main account. I bet I can. Look at me having the cheats. See you next time, guys.